back to Composers in Focus, a look into the lives and music of some of the world's most resilient composers. From victims of the Holocaust to prisoners of war, we're here to tell their stories and make their voices known. Each of these composers faced major challenges through world events, but are a testament to the unwavering determination of music. Today, we bring you the life and music of Erwin Schulhoff. 1939, the year that launched what would become a world war spanning over half a decade. Nazi Germany had invaded Poland in September, and this combined with other missteps spurred world powers to action. Two major sides were formed, the Axis and the Allies, and it is reported to be the deadliest conflict in history with 60 to 75 million deaths. Erwin Schulhoff would find himself at the height of his career during the beginning of the war, and it would have unimaginable consequences for both his compositions and his personal life. Erwin Schulhoff was a Czech pianist, composer, and soldier born in Prague in 1894 to a Jewish family. As a young artist, Schulhoff was a protege of Dvorak and encouraged to study music, eventually doing so in Prague, Cologne, and Vienna. In his early years, he won the Mendelssohn Prize for both performance and composition. Though a clear change in Schulhoff's compositional style can be attributed to the horrors he witnessed as a soldier in the Austrian army during World War I stationed on the Russian front. In 1916, he wrote in his diary, "I can only place the years 1914, 1915, 1916 on humanity's lowest rank. They make a mockery of the 20th century." He was one of the first European composers influenced by jazz, which he saw as a way to cut ties with the past after the war. He even founded a jazz quartet and hoped of opening a jazz school, a dream cut short by the growing oppression of the Jewish and leftist communities throughout Europe. While his compositional style wasn't necessarily consistent, you can find elements of jazz, foxtrot, ragtime, expressionism, and neoclassicism across his works. Suffering from depression, he became drawn to Dadaism, an art movement formed in reaction to World War I, centered around artistic freedom, emotional reaction, irrationalism, and even humor. In addition, he declared himself an advocate of communism in an effort to challenge oppressive right-wing radicalism. Just as Hitler rose to power in Germany in 1933, Schulhoff was at the peak of his career, his works being performed alongside those of Bartók, Stravinsky, Ravel, and other leading composers of the day. He believed in the need for a radical revolution of the people and clearly put these ideas forth in his compositions. Because of this, he was eventually considered a radical artist, and his music was declared degenerate by the Nazis due to its modernism and his Jewish heritage. Eventually, Schulhoff sought refuge from his oppressive home country in the USSR, ironically the front he was stationed against in World War I, but was then arrested as an enemy power by the Nazis. Despite the oppression, he held true to his beliefs and continued composing until his death in Wurzburg concentration camp in 1942. Sadly, along with his death came his almost complete disappearance from music history and performance. Perhaps one of his most recognizable works at the time was his Hot Sonata for alto saxophone and piano. This piece can be characterized as very flamboyant and modernist with notes of jazz. The confusing array of styles in this piece emphasized his desire to reject the past and start new.